like the volume is down a bit. So the time will start when I click play game after the title screen. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
Woo! Yep, so Speedbreaker is starting this game off of a completely fresh file, and we're skipping tutorials because it's slow. And we pretty much have some boostless gameplay right here that he's, and you can also just air dash in this game, similarly to the advanced games, which just makes it go a little bit faster horizontally. He wants to maintain boost mode as much as possible, which you can kind of see from the holograms following Sonic, because that just lets you go faster. And right there was a tutorial for wall jumping, which this game introduces. Kind of works similarly to the Wii version, and this is a completely different game from Sonic Colors Wii. And it's pretty much a rush game with a Sonic Colors Wii painting on it, basically. So what he's doing right now is that he has to collect 5 red rings in every stage, and if you notice, the little red starts at the bottom of the bottom screen. He already missed the first 2 red rings, and some red rings are not going to be collectible on the first trip because you have to unlock wisps, and right now he doesn't have any wisps unlocked. So some of the red rings will require coming back here with the burst wisp, which is one of the first wisps that he's going to unlock through the main game. You can also skip this auto-scroller once you had the burst wisp. That's basically a tongue twister. But unfortunately he doesn't have it, so he kind of has to sit through this anyways. I think there's a red ring here, if I remember correctly.
On the top with the 5th one. Strangely enough, it is actually possible on the first visit.
But better off just getting it when you have burst anyways, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Same with the first one. All are possible except the second one.
Yeah, so a lot of the stages he's going to have to visit twice to collect the red rings. But now we just unlocked boost, and yeah, we're back to the classic rush gameplay here. And you can kind of see the boost meter on the left side. And you have 3 full meters, blue, then yellow, then red. And when he hits maximum boost, he has unlimited boost for a limited amount of time. Boost works pretty much the same way as the rush games. That jump right there is a pretty big shortcut he just took. But yeah, the boost meter works a bit differently from the rush games in that there's no tricking in this game, if you couldn't tell from the lack of yelling yeah all the time. Rather you can only get boost when you collect wisps, which you can also collect by destroying enemies. So basically the same way as you would in the Wii version of the game. So boost management is important throughout this game. Because you can't just like refill it really easily by just hitting a ramp and then spamming trick or whatnot. And then he's entering the first special stage in the game out of 7. So to enter a special stage, you have to end a act with at least 50 rings, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is certainly a catch-in because this is one of my favorite tracks in the game, actually. So the special stage is kind of like the special stages from Sonic 2, where you're kind of going through a set laid out path. Except in this case, you have to go through this path 3 times. Each time you go through it, you have to collect a certain number of different colored orbs. So right now he's on the first lap, which requires collecting at least 60 red orbs. The second time he goes through this stage, he has to collect, I think, a certain number of yellow orbs. And then the third time, the blue orbs. And the number goes up each time, and it goes faster.
Yeah, it's the other way around. Just blue second, yellow third.
Okay, blue second, yellow third.
So
he is also looking for an S rank.
So I missed that, deliberately missed that strike tour because that's actually slow and it's not actually required for the S rank. But the one on the blue lap and the yellow lap are. I did a whole testing video on this. So it actually saves, in total it saves almost a minute.
To skip all of the end course orbs. Or most of them. But yeah, like typically speaking, like if you didn't really care much about score, you wouldn't want to hit as many boost pads as possible because there's no other way to really speed this up. But since he's going for an S rank, he has to kind of figure out which boost pads are worth skipping out on for points, which ones does he want to hit, which can sometimes lose you points and so on. So I think there was a boost pad that he skipped at the start of the second lap.
Yeah,
and this is what happens when you hit this.
Yeah, I tried to get that without skipping that, and it's a bit too much of a risk to get the S rank.
So what's exactly required for the S rank? I'm guessing the number of orbs you collect overall for in each lap or whatnot.
Oh yeah,
I actually haven't touched it at all.
Oh yeah, you do need to collect like certain number of orbs in each lap. I haven't actually counted the number of orbs, but you do actually, the striped orbs are required. There's no way to skip those for the blue and yellow one for this one specifically. Because no matter what I tried over there, I couldn't get the S rank without those.
Gotcha.
Now I need the striped orb here. And as long as you collect a decent amount when the striped orb comes, you're good.
Yeah, imagine trying to do a ring attack for this, or rather an orb attack. That sounds painful. But yeah, that's the first special stage, and 1 out of 7 Chaos Emeralds. There are only 6 zones in this game, that's excluding the terminal velocity, which kind of doesn't count. But there are 7 emeralds. We'll go over how to get the last emerald when we get there. But, yep. And here we reach the boss of Tropical Resort coming up, and we're also unlocking some missions. So I don't think you'll be refighting this boss, if I remember correctly. I don't think there's really a reason to. So there is a quick kill on this, but he doesn't have burst right yet, which is how you kill this boss really quickly. So he kind of has to go for a alternative, farming some boost out of the hands, just so he can get ready to boost through this next attack for a quick kill setup here. Trying to go for a double hit on the last hit.
Got it.
And there we go. And to get an S rank, you're looking for both. Time is one of the biggest factors in it, and usually if you just clear stages quickly enough, you get an S rank. The number of rings you end with also helps. I haven't done any actual calculations on this, but I think you get the majority of your points from just beating the stages quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, this game has a multiplayer mode, by the way, where you can kind of play Mario Kart against someone else, and you get items and spam them as you race to the end of the stage. And you might be wondering, why are we playing Mario Kart in Sonic Colors DS? And the answer is, this is required for the last emerald that does not have a zone associated with it. So I'm guessing you do this early just to get it out of the way, because it's very luck dependent. Yeah, because the enemy can just... The opponent, which is the bottom screen, can just kind of toss lots of really annoying items at you. Like springs, insta-deaths, things like that, things that kill your boost. And it's just a lot of luck involved here.
I need more rings, so I had to go back.
Oh yeah, that was the insta-kill, by the way.
Yeah,
very unfortunate.
Don't have enough rings.
Oh yeah, you're going for an S rank for this too, aren't you? Forgot about that.
No, it's not ranks, but you need like 50 before you reach the end to then to special stage.
Oh, right. Forgot about that. Oh, hopefully doesn't get screwed this time.
Yep.
There we go. And here's the next special stage. So same idea. Collect red orbs on the first lap, blue second, yellow third. Wants to go for an S rank. And of course, the difficulty of the special stages kind of goes up as they start throwing more and more gimmicks and obstacles at you. Orbs that you collect in one lap will not carry over in the next lap. So, like, for example, that 5 orb that we just passed by, if you collected that now, you wouldn't be able to collect it in later laps. So you kind of want to leave that for laps that are more difficult or scarce on the corresponding orbs. So, like, red orbs are really straightforward. You don't have as much of a requirement for them, so you don't really need to get as many extra orbs for them. So you want to, like, leave the extra the rainbow orbs for later laps, typically. Not always, but typically.
Yeah. Sometimes you need it to keep the combo alive. So the number I've got in the top right hand corner is the chain, and that affects your score also.
Hey, blue face.
Yep.
Yo, music is a banger. Even though I can't hear it right now because I'm watching through Discord, but that's okay.
Okay, so as I'm running a bit faster, I don't need those rainbow orbs. So yeah, that's one of the ones.
Yeah.
That's what's skipping.
That is a good point, because like in the later laps, you're going faster, so it's actually kind of easier to maintain your chain, now that you mention it. Didn't think about that.
Okay, that's good, that's good. So yeah, I can miss this one as well, because for all the even special stages, you only need the yellow lap to get the S rank. For all the odd ones, you need only the odd. For all the odd ones, you need only the blue one to get the S, except for the first one.
You kind of notice that there are almost no orbs left on because he's collected like the majority of them on the first 2 laps. Maintaining the chain.
Good, got it. 31, that's good.
Nice.
Oh, that's rank.
And there you go. I think that's all of versus what we're gonna see. Probably for the best with what can happen. All right, so here's the first Wisp, and to unlock a Wisp, as you enter an area, you kind of have to play this little mini game where you kind of touch the Wisp as it comes out. You probably didn't see anything. It always pops out from the right side of the screen, and it is not random. So as long as you know where it's coming from, you can pretty much tap it as soon as possible. Some timing. And the Burst Wisp is a Wisp that is unique to the DS version of this game. There's nothing like it in the Wii version, and yeah.
No shortcut.
Yeah, that's a pretty difficult shortcut because you can kind of get on top of the loop and take the very top route, which you're supposed to only be able to take with a later Wisp called Void. Oh yeah, we'll see the Burst Wisp coming up soon, I think. Kind of don't want to use it if you can help it because it's a little slow, but you're gonna need it for some routes or red rings.
So I'm gonna take this up route, get a burst here, and go through this wall.
So burst is kind of interesting. You're pretty much flying, and you kind of do these mid-air jumps by charging an explosion. And when you have a fully charged explosion, you blow up everything on the screen. It lets you go through candy walls. It lets you turn on hot air balloons by ascending, which this zone has a lot of. You can destroy a lot of enemies. You can melt through candy walls. It has a lot of little gimmicks that you can burst through, literally.
That's the last red ring down there.
Yep, and that's all the red rings in the stage, so I'm gonna guess we are not gonna see a revisit here.
No. And you see the fourth one of it, that's actually intended to use as Void.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
But it's easy to skip as this burst. On that 2, on the other hand, the third one is not so easy to skip. Skip the Void. Right, so now we're in the third special stage, which scatters the orbs a bit. Not too difficult in the first lap. Go along here, get these 2 orbs. So yeah, I don't want to skip any of these orbs. And unlike the previous one, this is special stage 3. So I want to collect the blue striped orb at the end of this. So as you can see, I'm running pretty slow. It will speed up later. On the top screen, it shows all the Chaos Emeralds I've already collected, so I've got the first and the last one.
Yeah, I think it calls the last one a special stage 2, but and I think it just kind of names the special stage numbers and the Chaos Emerald numbers kind of differently. Something like that.
Yeah. It does it in order, unlike Rush Adventure. So yeah, so that switch activates those checkered orbs, and it gives me 10 extra if I collect 4 8 of them.
Collecting those sets of 3s is kind of harder than it looks, because like you can't just stand in one spot to collect them typically. You kind of have to move to the side as you collect them.
Yeah, certainly required. You just run right through and not get a good count. Right, so now we're on the yellow lap. Running much faster now. And compared to the others, these ones are a lot more scattered.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
I'm not going to skip these orbs, because yeah, as you can guess, I did that before and missed the S rank.
Ah, that must feel bad.
Okay, good. I don't need this orb here. I don't need the one from the blue lap, and then we're done.
Three emeralds down, 4 to go.
Yep. Awesome. Almost 16 minutes.
Alright, time for Act 2 of Sweet Mountain. So Sweet Mountain 2 is going to be seeing a lot more bursts because Speedworker is going to need to be doing a lot of ascending to take certain paths. You see what I mean?
So yeah, that is a new IL strat I came up with. And the same strat at the time. Now the first one's up there. Normally where you try to reverse like that, but if you can reverse boost jump, you can skip it entirely.
Yeah, the rush games are really flexible with gaining height because like one of the techniques in pretty much every Sonic game is a slope jump, which is where if you jump off of an uphill slope, you gain a lot of height, although you sacrifice horizontal speed. And the faster you are as you jump off its incline, the more height you gain off of it. But since you can just initiate a boost anytime you want, you can just kind of boost jump on the same time on an incline, and you'll just have a lot of height from it. So as long as you have some sort of uphill incline, it's relatively easy to get up to a higher area, higher than intended.
So what I did just there was the Void skip. Normally it requires to use Void, but with a 15-second beam scroll by going back, I can get a burst and break through the wall. And that saves over a minute, so it saves having to redo this level.
Yeah, 15 seconds is quite a bit of time, but that's nothing compared to a literal stage revisit. And this is I think this is the only zone in the game besides Asteroid Coaster where Void is available, which is the last wisp you typically unlock, so being able to collect all the red rings without a revisit with Void is a very big deal.
Yeah, and I've even done some practice with all red rings. I proved that a sub 50 run is actually possible, and I don't think it would be without the skip. Right, and that's Act 2 done in less than 150, which is great.
Nice. Another S rank.
Basically trivial here, so it's not a big a deal. Right, so now we're unlocking missions now, and first I'm going to be going to Mission 2 first, as it's right next to me on the map. So
yeah, he has to do every mission twice, unfortunately, because the first time you do them, the red rings are not the red rings are available on the first time you do them, but then there's no rank for them. So you have to go for the S rank. He has to do every mission the second time. But you'll see some differences because that means he doesn't have to worry about red rings on the second trip typically. So this mission requires collecting 25 wisps, which you can collect through wisp capsules or destroying enemies. And you can get a lot of wisps from enemies because if you maintain a chain of defeating a lot of enemies in a row, you get more and more wisps per enemy you kill. So he could have ended the mission way earlier than this, but he needs to make a bit of a detour and not end the mission yet to get the last red ring.
Right, so that's the first attempt done.
Alright, shout out to Silver.
This will be very quickly.
Yeah, so you're about to see the actual fast, quick clear of this. Just watch the top of the screen, top of the bottom screen, the wisp count. jump from 13 to 21 because he just killed like 3 enemies at the same time.
Great.
With the combo.
That air boost is a lot tougher to make than it looks, because if you air boost too early, there'll be no way to come back. Right, mission 1.
Yeah, this mission is defeat all the enemies, which is kind of similar to collect the wisps if you think about it, except you can't really scale them like maintain and combo, so you just have to kill 20 enemies. You can't really have any shortcuts to have an enemy kill count for like 2 enemies or something like that, like you could with wisps. But, yep.
Not that big a deal since I have to complete it again. Right, so I was actually supposed to like use a fully charged burst to get up there, but I ran out of bursts, unfortunately. Okay, good.
Taking advantage of the fully charged burst to destroy everything on both screens.
Okay, good. Just made it. It's for the S. Right, so mission 3 is a bit slightly different, because normally I'd want to get the red rings first, but there's a faster real-time strat. There's a soul target that reach the end as fast as possible, which is the bottom route.
Yeah, this is all over a bottomless pit, by the way. Your gimmick of this mission is that you kind of have to get to the end within a time limit over a giant bottomless pit by taking advantage of burst. But you can kind of collect these time capsules that add time to your timer. So like right now he only has 7 seconds left on the timer. Now it jumps up to 12, jump back up because he's collecting plus 5-second time capsules.
I got the touch with that. Yeah, that's where he's high.
Nice. So like in a speedrun setting, you kind of want to find a balance of like making sure you can actually finish the mission by collecting time capsules, but also not wasting time going out of your way for them too much.
So this time I would have to go the up route. So as I missed a couple of capsules, I have to go get some more. Now I need to hug this wall to get that red ring. There's no other way to get this, by the way.
Yeah, those candy shooter thingies are one way only. So
I need a second red ring. Pull that wall. And we're done. Oh, enough for the S. Right, now we're going to face the second boss. And this will make short work of this by using burst.
So he kind of needs to do a bit of a strat here to get some boost, because in order to get some burst, he has to boost into the next little guy that shoots out of him, and then charge a burst. Dead.
And he's done.
Alright, so it looks like you're about to go back to Tropical Resort to do some cleanup.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because the only thing you need in Tropical Resort to full clear it is the Burst Wisp, which you just unlocked.
Yeah, I go over here to do the missions only, because the first one in mission 1, we can't get that without burst, because it's like the same reason for the Tropical Resort at 1. So I go down here, then I take this up route.
Again, maintaining a combo to just get 3 wisps per kill, I think. Eventually. Ideally.
Yeah. I unfortunately missed that one, by the way.
That's a difficult combo to maintain, so... And the burst controls can be kind of finicky at times.
Okay, 37 remaining is not too bad. Okay, now we want to finish it a second time. This time, we see the fastest strat. And we're done.
Yep, just in the blink of an eye.
Yep. Now for mission 2. Now for the first attempt it's a bit less complicated because we just want to get the red rings and finish. But for the S rank on the other hand, we want to have 1 minute remaining, which we can't do trivially, unfortunately.
Some people in chat might be wondering, is there a reason you're playing in the Japanese version, or is it just for fun?
Actually, I prefer the Japanese voice.
I don't blame you. Yeah, someone just kind of mentioned, oh, Cream's voice is really cute in Japanese, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're playing the Japanese version. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think there were any actual version differences outside of the voices, but I wasn't entirely sure.
That's unfortunate. That's taking some time. I'm using burst here, even though we don't actually need it. To get that second red, don't try to use burst. It saves time to use burst. So there's no actual point for completing any of these missions early. Right, here's where it gets slightly trickier. Let me have this Chow.
Any Chow emotes in chat? Yeah, this mission is basically just clear Act 2 with timer, basically, so it's effectively the same thing, it's just beat Act 2 as quickly as possible. Because as long as you're fast enough, you're not going to really have much issues with the timer, because there's a lot of time capsules in your path anyways.
Because I have to go back here to get these timers, because I need at least a minute remaining for the S.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the S rank, that's a good point.
Now you've got to skip here. And that takes about 4 seconds. And that's more than enough. Right, off to mission 3. Which is basically completing the same thing twice, since the route passed through both red rings. Now go up here. Now go onto these petal platforms. And sometimes you jump, sometimes you don't because of how the petals are.
Yeah, they can you can sometimes just kind of fall through the petals as you run across them, which is a little annoying, but oh well.
Right, cool. Right, now for the second time. Cream again. Now go up. Basically the same as what we did last time. Wasn't meant to take that spring. As you can see, it's much slower to take the spring.
Yeah.
Why am I going here? Don't know why I'm going here. Click B by mistake.
Oh, feels bad when that happens.
Right, onto the next
Menuing.
Okay, so this next wisp is Rocket. And this is almost like the Wii version. And we don't just have tutorials.
One of the interesting things that you'll probably see with Rocket is there are these little gimmicks with Rocket that you'll see where you can they kind of swing you and shoot you horizontally as you still keep rocketing, which is not in the Wii version of the game. You kind of also see these cannons that Speedrun just used like a few seconds ago. Here's the first case of a rocket. There we go. Pretty straightforward. Oh, yeah. It's a little slow, so you kind of want to avoid it if possible, but
we don't have. But another wisp we have that's supposed to be here is laser, and we haven't unlocked it yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There are some shortcuts you can take with laser.
And as you can see, we're not getting any of the red rings until the revisit, because the fourth one is laser blocked.
So you might as well just revisit it with laser and collect all of the red rings in one go. Way.
But yeah, and that shortcut was in TAS, which I don't think any of us really like took into account, but it does save a bit of time.
Yeah, this zone introduces a lot of rails, and you're going to see a lot more of them in Act 2. That rocket right there he just used, you're supposed to kind of hit another rocket capsule and to double the length of your rocket, but that's slow, and you can barely make it with just one rocket. But yeah, you're about to see... oh, well, after the special station, I suppose. I forgot about that.
Most of
We haven't seen one of these in a while.
Yeah, because of the tropical resort missions. Better to do them now so you don't lose track.
Yeah.
We would do these for the tropical resort acts, but we need laser to do some of the readers. So even though we don't need that 5, which I used to keep this combo alive, we wouldn't be able to do that otherwise. More red orbs, more red orbs. Pieces dodge. And that's the end of the first lap. Okay. Now on to the second lap. Now going slightly faster. And you get these globs here and there. Not too hard to collect. As we're running faster, we can keep our combo in like the red lap. Let's get these orbs. Good.
The later special stages can get surprisingly scary, especially when they start throwing spike balls at you.
Yeah.
Last round of the stage.
Yep. Good.
Boing.
Yep. Much harder to keep up with. Yeah, we Thankfully, the road is transparent, so like when you're going uphill, you can kind of see what's coming up ahead, even though it's looking through the floor, so that's kind of nice. Right, that's the end of this one. On to...
3 laps to go.
Yep, 3 to go. On to Act 2.
Lots of rails coming up. The rails are kind of interesting in the rush games. So basically, you don't really lose speed as you go up or down rails, so you don't necessarily need to really boost on them, because that's not really going to help you, as long as you have enough speed as you start on them. And this entire act is all outdoors, with lots of bottomless pits, but a lot of rails over them, and a lot of little gimmicks where you can kind of fire yourself out of bows and stuff, which you'll see soon.
Now that jump allows you to go through the second rail. And let's take a rocket up here to save time. Save going all the way round.
Here's the ballista that you can kind of ride along. Pretty cool.
Now I'm going to get to the top route. That's where the second ring is.
And another rocket.
That's a backtrack for the red ring. Another rocket for the fourth red ring. That was on purpose.
Right, upcoming is an auto-scroller. I really hope you like auto-scrollers, because that was it. He's skipping it right now. Collecting the last red ring on the way. Yep. And there we go. The auto-scroller took about 5 seconds by skipping it. Yeah, you can skip the auto-scroller by avoiding landing on the actual blimp that triggers it. So as long as you boost before you land on it, you can like maintain enough horizontal distance, just jump from platform to platform and skip the auto-scroller. So, very nice. And it looks like that act is full cleared in one trip, so that's nice. You didn't need laser anywhere.
Yep. Even in IO, you don't need laser. Which is bizarre, because laser is the fastest. Wisp.
Yeah, like, if there's a Wisp you really want to go out everywhere to use, if possible, it's the laser Wisp. But here's a quick mission. Destroy 15 enemies. Pretty quick.
Now for the second go, which isn't much different than this one. Not bad, let's go another round. Okay, let's go.
You've already collected a red ring, so it's just a blitz to destroy 15 enemies this time.
As you can see, that was slightly faster than the previous one. Mission 1. Very straightforward.
One of the things I appreciate about this game, even though it doesn't really make sense, are all the cameos of the other characters. Seeing Silver, Rouge, Knuckles, Scream. Even Team Chaotix eventually, it's kind of cute.
Which is coming up after this zone. And pull through. Good time. Okay, now again. Again, almost like the Tropical Resort Mission 3, it's basically the same thing twice. It's going for the next level and trivial. And again. And through the cannon to finish.
Nice.
Okay.
Alright, so this is a collect 20 Wisps mission. So you can kind of clear this mission within the first batch of enemies with a combo, but again, Speedbreaker has to go out of his way to get to the actual end of the stage to collect the 2 red rings. So we'll see what the actual quick clear will look like soon.
Right, no, settle down. Okay, I need to restart. I stumped.
Yeah, this setup is very particular, so like you can't miss a single hit here.
Great. After the restart, of course. Right now, reach our third boss, which the Wispy will not kill his rocket.
This is one of few bosses in the game that actually has a random element to it, which is not too bad. You can miss one minor cycle if you're unlucky, which is a chunk of time, but it's not the end of the world. And then you can kind of combo rocket into itself like that, and then the boss is dead. So the bosses in this game are mostly very quick, which is kind of nice.
Sub 23. And that relies on getting good RNG at the start with the fallen objects.
Mm-hmm. Right, Planet Wisp. So he's about to unlock the Drill Wisp, which works basically the same way as in the Wii version. You can drill through ground, you can turn around, and you can also drill through water, which you'll see in Aquarium Park. This is surprisingly one of the more difficult Wisps to catch, because like it's very fast, so even if you can see where it's coming, you have to manually tap it with the stylus, and it's pretty tight. And you can't tap the top screen, of course, because the top screen is not a touch screen.
Right, Act 1 now. This is one of the tougher act stages to do. And I'm going to go along here, get the first red ring down here. Now I'm going to go the up route, get a good jump here.
Basically just abusing a lot of slope jumps to jump over it at this entire part of the stage. The rocket's kind of convenient for getting to the top route here really quickly. Now we'll see some drill. Drill's a little bit janky in this game because the turns are relatively wide in this game compared to the Wii version where they're a lot tighter, so it can be really difficult to make these turns that Speedbreaker is making.
Now normally I would use drill here, but the 4th red ring is up here, and there's no way to do that without drill. Now we're going to go up here, Rocket Wisp. Last red ring.
And drill to the end.
130, not bad. Yeah, Planet Wisp is it's definitely a good set of music.
Yep, 5th special stage. Technically 4th, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anything special to this one besides the extra spike balls that you have to avoid?
Nothing to switch.
Thankfully, that switch with the bonus orbs that he just did, they respawn or reactivate every lap, so you don't have to worry about conserving them like you do with the rainbow orbs. So that is convenient.
That's the first lap done. Now for the second. Okay, yeah, these ones are not that difficult to get. I could use that dash one to skip it, but then I'd risk losing the S rank. In fact, I've lost the S rank for that, actually.
Oh, that must feel bad.
Well, luckily it didn't happen when it happened in the test.
Oh, best to get out of the way in the test.
Yeah. Okay, good. Lost lap.
Almost done.
Yeah, this is much tougher to get than the previous lap. It's all spread out.
Yeah, the orbs are really scarce because you've cleared out so many of them from the first 2 laps, so...
I think it is actually possible to get the S by taking that dash panel. Only 12, not a big deal. Two to go.
2 to go. Alright, Act 2. I hope you like the drill sound, because you're about to hear a lot of it.
Yep, it's
a lot of drill.
It's very drill oriented.
Just drilling around at the speed of sound.
Yep. I'm surprised the plants can keep up with us.
Yeah, at the end of the stage is this giant, I don't know what it's called, like this giant machine that chases you while you drill, and you're drilling pretty darn fast, so it's kind of impressive that it keeps up with you.
So yeah, certainly. Oh yeah, Diamond's in the chat now.
Yeah, Diamond 4444 is another runner of the Rush games. And I believe he commentated your run yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Rush.
he did.
Yeah, you can kind of expect to hit 99 lives pretty quickly, because, like, you get, I don't know how many lives you just get, like, 5 lives or something every time you clear a stage with an S rank, and since Speedbreaker is S ranking everything. I'm actually slightly surprised he's not at 99 lives, but I guess that's because a lot of the time that he's spent in this run so far has been bloated by special stages, which I don't think you get lives from.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh, you do? Okay, never mind. But yeah, you get a lot of lives from S ranks. Kind of impressive, honestly. But yeah, that was the giant machine that chases you I mentioned earlier. Yeah, technically you kind of want to avoid the special stage dialogue if you can, when you don't need it anymore, but like, it's pretty minor. So like, ideally, Speedbreaker would have finished that stage with less than 50 rings, so he wouldn't be prompted to repeat special stage 5, but it's like 1 second, and it's not, in some cases might not even be worth bothering to care about. So.
Right.
Yep. That mission is surprisingly difficult. Like this mission is really tight to S rank, because I think you have to do it pretty much perfectly. S rank it.
Oh, certainly.
Like, it's kind of surprising what their expectations are for this. But if you don't take that exact route that Speedbreaker took, you're not getting an S rank. You're just not gonna be able to get the time you need. And again, drill controls can be very awkward in this game, or tight, just because of how wide it turns compared to the screen.
Right now, mission 1, and we say, I'm just seeing Charmy.
See, beach time!
Made it.
I think this game and Sonic Colors Wii kind of introduced like the 10 rings or the 5 rings that you see a lot. Heck, actually in Sonic Colors Ultimate, they actually added some 100 rings, which are kind of funny, and kind of snuck them in some interesting spots. They kind of see a lot of 10 rings here that Speedbreaker's getting in this mission. Obviously, don't hit any spike balls or else you lose your rings. That's kind of bad in a mission where you're trying to collect 200 rings.
Lots to lose.
Yeah. Kind of don't want to lose 170 rings. So getting those batches of 30 rings in the corners is surprisingly difficult, just because, like, you either need to get, like, a perfect turn with how wide the drill turns, or you have to get, like, a really clean bonk. But anyways, we have a boss here. This boss, you kind of want to get some boost into the arm, get a drill, and then it's going to start trying to heal itself. Speedbreaker has a bit of a setup here to destroy the 2 cores in the water, and you want to destroy those as soon as possible. Once you destroy that, you can deal the finishing blow, and there we go. Pretty fast boss. You kind of sense the pattern here.
Cool, now for mission 3. From here on out, we're going to be doing the bosses before we do mission 3 because of where they place on the map.
Map menuing. Hey Vector, how's it going?
Let's do this. Oh, good. Good RNG pattern. So now I'm going to drill down and get this red ring over here. And go out. That's where the second red ring is. Now transform to drill, grab this one, go back up this way. And I'm going to stay on this dark part. I mean, I finish off here by getting the last one. Good. Right, now for the second attempt. Yeah, boosting is a lot faster than using drill.
Drill's still pretty fast in its own right, but yeah, boost is by far faster. So yeah, this mission's kind of really interesting. I think there's only 2 missions like this in the game, where you kind of have to collect the 5 flags in order, and if you can look at the active screen, you can kind of see a squiggly red arrow. The locations of the 5 flags are set, but the order which you have to collect them is random. So these kinds of missions kind of require some degree of improvisation and knowing the level layout, so you can kind of react to where the next flag is going to be, because the red marker points you at where the next flag is. The other mission like this is in the Asteroid Coaster, so you won't see it again for a while. And we're about to unlock the Laser Wisp, which also is surprisingly difficult to catch, just because it's very fast, even though it's not random.
Let's try.
It works pretty much the same way as in Color's Wii. You aim, you ping pong, you go fast, and you zoom. You can also hit diamonds, just like in the Wii version, and ricochet a lot.
Now I want to conserve the laser I get here.
You kind of intended to use that laser to nume through this area, but he's going to want to use it in an underwater segment soon.
Yeah, I actually found this using only... Yeah, unfortunately I transformed some drill by mistake. You can actually get that without using the drill. I actually found it was faster to use laser because I intended to complete this by using only laser. I found it was actually faster than I know restrictions before. So now it's quite good.
Getting the proper ricochet for that red ring is probably a lot harder than it looks, so as you can tell. So I guess drill is just kind of a backup in that case.
I mean, I don't know who else did their infinite laser glitch, but I saw the video.
Here's a case where you're actually going to see him use drill, just because he doesn't really have a good way to gain height underwater quickly, and then straight into laser to ricochet into that diamond and nume through.
That was the last red ring.
Yeah, it's nice that you can clear this in one trip. You have almost all the tools in the game that you unlock at this point. The only wisp you're missing at this point is Void, which only affects Sweet Mountain, so...
Which we didn't need at the end. Thanks to the finding Sweet Mountain 2. Oh, 6 special stage.
And the last one in the run, I think? Oh, no, you have... Okay, never mind.
One more.
Yeah, you one more. The Asteroid Coaster one.
Oh yeah, thank you, Tempest Mask. Thanks for the good luck.
Yeah, you can kind of tell this is a bit of a... There's a lot going on in the special stage. It's just a lot of differently colored orbs just kind of going back and forth a lot. Like, there is like a clear path you're sort of intended to take for each lap as you avoid the rest of the orbs. But it's kind of difficult to do it perfectly.
And even the strike tool is a bit tougher to get. Lucky we didn't need it for this lap. And to get into the special stage, we ideally want to be using Act 1. For some reason it's easy to maintain our win count. Good. Now for that, to get all of them you have to have a perfect jump. There's no other way of getting those. I'll get as many of these as I can. Good. 25 is good. Now grab these ones. Good. Grab these, grab these, grab these. Jump. There's possibly a way to do that without jumping, but I just wish to be safe. Right, and we're done. One to go. Mm-hmm. Alright, so for this one, it's actually a bit, the fastest I think about is actually tough. Something when you've got the blazer, and it doesn't respawn after. Now I'm going to go up this up route. That angle is good enough. There's specific IL laser angles you can use for that, but it's very tight to get. Now we need to use drill to get this red ring because it's in the circle fish, it's not use how to get. Straight into a laser. Now here's where it gets tricky with the laser. It is possible to get without using a spring, but we don't want to miss that crystal. Now go down here to get the 4th red ring. Strange enough, that's more consistent than it looks.
And seeing the ricochets with laser are so fun. It's so fun.
Oh yeah, certainly. They just bounce across the place at high speed. Now just wait, keep waiting, take damage from the bombs. 122 is a good time. Hope you enjoyed that stage because we're about to see it again. 2 more times. Right now. Now here's another one where the S rank is surprisingly a bit more difficult than it looks. Because this is a time mission, and to get the S you need 1 minute 15 remaining.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that you have to worry about the S rank in the time mission. Because normally, if you didn't worry about the S rank, you're pretty much just redoing the stage any percent, but yeah.
Good laser angle again. Now I can go up here. Didn't get a perfect jump there. Now can use beam whip while through the laser. Didn't get a perfect jump there. Now we want to make a slight detour here for the 2nd red ring. Now we just sit and wait. Have a quick breather.
Yeah, funnily enough, the fast forward is just to do nothing. Conveniently enough, there's a red ring in the way too, I think.
No, we got this too. We got the last
one
earlier.
Right. Yeah, you got up earlier. Forgot about that.
It's slightly different here. Right, thanks JJ Dude. Or J Dude. Right, this is where we have to get the S rank. So yeah, I need 1 minute 15 remaining. Laser angle's good enough. I have to keep an eye on the timers. think it's still possible. Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay, good. Put back up. So I was supposed to jump down, but I jumped too early.
And how much time do you need to S rank?
1 minute 15.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be tight. Ooh, it seems like it's gonna be tight. You're getting close to the end.
Yeah, it's close at the end. I think we're good here, because I had a lot less time than this. That's better. Whew. Okay, good enough. But yeah, I'm losing a ton of time. That fell off. More than enough. Right, mission 1. Oh yeah.
Just Big the cat.
Oh, big guy.
Very much a big cuddly cat. Gotta love him. The goal is, this is effectively just a repeat of Act 1, except you have to kill 20 enemies. So he's looking for these missile rocket enemies underwater. There's a few in this path you can kill as well.
What?
Ooh.
Boost glitch.
Yeah, the boost glitch is something that happens in all the Rush games. It's a lot less common in this game, but basically, like, when you try to initiate a boost on the ground, sometimes you'll just boost for like 1 frame or whatnot instead of a continuous boost, which is really annoying. It's a lot more common in the Rush and Rush Adventure games because you can't initiate a boost in the air, whereas in this game you can and usually will start your boosts in the air. So it's really uncommon to bump into the boost glitch because it's pretty uncommon to start a boost off the ground. But it can happen and it's obnoxious when it does. But, you know, part of the game sometimes.
Okay, this basically completed the level twice. This red wings are trivial using this route.
I was about to say, like, I feel like you're just doing the same route as before because red wings are in your way. Which, you know, is convenient.
This is right in between the 2 enemies. Right onto the boss. So this boss has an interesting quick kill.
Yeah, so the platform you're on is kind of a seesaw, and your goal is to kind of do a stomp to fling that torpedo back at the boss and knock him down. He needs to get some boost, and then boost into the boss to get a laser wisp. And then...
Cool. We got it.
Nice. Yeah, I believe you have to hit him twice with a laser in order to quick kill him, but you got it, so. I think there's like a slightly faster strategy to do that. I've never done it myself, but that seems like a reliable way to get a similar result. More reliable, I should say.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we actually need to complete the mission. I forgot mission 3. There it is, mission 3. It's quite easy to forget the missions.
Yeah.
So this is more like a 1-pack stage.
It's kind of a fun one, because it's like, you're over this giant bottomless pit, but you're just supposed to kind of stay in the air by spamming laser a lot. Kind of cute, I think. Of course, taking all the intended paths is a little slow, so we're going to do a little bit of a skip. And one of the convenient things about boosting in this game is that when you boost, you kind of have a magnetic shield effect. In other words, rings nearby will come to you, which is really nice for that end part of the stage.
It's a little like Sonic Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got to boost it again. stomp there. So it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, you want 140 rings by the time you get down there.
And next, it looks like you're about to go back and do some Asteroid Coaster.
No, what we do.
Oh no, okay. Oh yeah, because you want to go through levels of life just a little bit faster than that beginning of the menu, yep. So, doing some cleanup because there's some red rings we missed in the Tropical Resort levels because we didn't have burst at the time. Any particular reason? Yep. Any particular reason you're choosing to do these now, or just felt like that's just how the route works out?
Just to get these out of the way. And I don't actually need Void. Oh yeah, and that route is about 2 seconds faster than actually transforming into burst. Now I can take these Ferris wheels. And you have to
the Ferris wheels are surprisingly annoying to get into with burst, just because of how burst controls.
Great.
Yeah, that seemed pretty clean.
And you have to burst jump into the 5th one, otherwise you, for some reason, you just slide under it. So now, this stage, the only ones I didn't get were the 2nd one and the 5th one. And the 5th one is possible, the 2nd one isn't. Matthew could try this with Tass, and had no luck. Yeah, with that build, you can actually make it to that platform without using burst, but then you can't make enough jump height. As I mentioned, Matthew tried to do this, and then he wasn't able to. He either didn't have enough height, or was dropped by a wall. Now he wants to burst the jump, step the red ring. Believe it or not, this is actually faster. 50 seconds. Off to the Starlight Carnival 1. And then spot there, tap it specifically times so don't get too high and lose control, and so I have more control on it, so I can every single layer straight away and use it. Now I'm going to take the active. Went a bit too high there. Second I'm doing the squizzle here, and the hair boost. Get a laser, and crossing this is much easier with laser. I want to take a tight laser here.
Lasers make this level so much more smooth.
Fun fact, the IO record uses its own laser. And you had to have lasers go through that wall to get the 4th one. We're going to use Rocket on the left wall to get the last red ring, and we're done. 117.
GG. Nice. Right, now we're in Asteroid Coaster, and he's about to unlock the Void Wisp. The Void, in this little minigame, the Void spawns out of like 1 of 4 teleporters. It's always the same pattern. So you just memorize it, always the top left. And Void is very similar to Frenzy from the Wii version, except it's better because you fly, and you get big, and eat more stuff. So it's also a pretty slow Wisp though, so you kind of want to avoid using it whenever possible. There are a few spots where you're kind of forced to use it, like right here. So basically when you're using Void, you kind of want to just be tapping the direction that you're going in repeatedly, because that makes you kind of go faster and get more distance with your Void, which is very important for a slightly faster route later.
Now I'm going fast enough here so I can break the wall coming up.
Because if you don't break this wall with Void, you have to break it with Laser, which is a bit slower. Because you'd rather conserve Laser for a later part of the stage. Those giant skulls that chase you is an instant kill though. They kind of rubber band, as in like they kind of are always at the edge of the screen. But yeah, as long as you're continuously boosting, you can avoid them easily.
Normally I'd run up this, but I need Void to go through this machine to get full red ring. I'm gonna go for the laser here. I was gonna do like an early laser grab, but I air boosted too early. You can actually air boost and get this red ring without actually using the crystals. Then land on the second coaster below. Now into the final special stage.
This one is a doozy. This one's surprisingly scary. Once you get this, you have all the 7 emeralds, and that unlocks the true ending boss.
Now I want to optimize those spikes and the rainbow orbs over there so I can keep this combo alive for all laps. Yeah, that's as good as the combo will get because they're too far apart. This one's easy, you just need to go over it. And don't get this orb.
Again, striped orbs are slow. Want to skip them if possible.
Good.
Yep, gotta get the last Jolly Roger. With an S rank, too.
Got it. What? Only 4? That's a bit shocking.
Hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Guess we'll see.
I did check it was possible with only the blue lap. I'm gonna get the yellow one just in case.
Best to play it a bit safe at this point. It's pretty late in the run, too.
Final Chaos Emerald.
And there we go. That's Supersonic unlocked, except Supersonic is kind of more of a extra final boss as opposed to being something you use in the main stages.
And that was an S.
Different.
Just.
Whew, barely.
Act 2. Let's do this.
Yeah, this is personally my favorite stage to speedrun in this game, and whew, this stage has a lot of auto-scrollers with the roller coasters. But Speedbreaker is going to skip pretty much all of them except like half of the last one. That's basically it, so you're in for a treat. Lots of skips coming up. So yeah, here's another skip here. Taking advantage of boost jumping into an air dash, into a boost, and then doing it again, and then lasering back up, and then doing it all over again to get a lot of heights and distance. Pretty fun. And then here's a bit of a forced Void section, and you can kind of see it being slow. But smooth control of Void is harder than it looks. You just have to make sure you press your direction before a little bit early in order to move smoothly.
That's going to be coming up.
Yeah, you're not avoiding Void in this part.
I tried it and I got stuck. Now onto the boss forward here. Not only to skip this section, but to guarantee getting the full red ring. Now to get the fifth red ring just down here.
Yeah, kind of has to make a bit of a detour, which is this entire open area is like an area where you're supposed to kind of play around with Void and get lots of rings for fun.
Unfortunate. What to make that cycle because I had cycles good enough. But it turns out I got there a bit too slowly. It is possible to make that. Okay, this is still a good time. I'm just gonna avoid this T-Rex skull. Not too bad. Amazing. Right now for mission 2, which is one of the fastest missions in the game.
Say hi to Shadow. Bye, Shadow. Sure, he'll show you how he hasn't gone soft by just clearing this mission in like 10 seconds. Less, I think, actually. Get big. Suck everything in. Done. Nice and fast.
Yep. It's all the same except the last part. And that you can just go straight up and finish the level. Now for mission 1. Which is another flag mission. Hello, Mega. Okay, this is a good pattern. Well, at least okay pattern. Now I'm going to avoid this Void Capture up here. Kind of stop here. Let's go a bit too early. Now I'm going to go through here, go through these fans, get up. That Void just fought. Just put time out. Great.
Nice. Yeah, that mission is kind of a giant maze that you're supposed to navigate with Void. And again, it's the second of 2 missions in the game where you kind of have to collect the 5 flags in a random order. So, you're about to see it again. Thanks, Omega.
Now just go up this way. Now for a long storm. It's not less risky.
And it's also stomping is way faster than using Void. This Void is just so slow.
flag. Now I want to face the boss. Now for here, for this boss, I want to avoid getting these rings until I go Void, because I want to go Big Void as fast as possible.
And the rings kind of cycle, so like if you collect any rings now, they're not going to show up again. So now that he's gotten Void, he wants to now get these rings as Void so he gets as big as possible quickly, and then can go see the result for yourself.
Yep, what a surprise.
Nom nom nom. Now I'm kind of hungry. Alley-oop. Hope your lunch was delicious.
Taste of that. We're not quite done yet, because we need to beat one of the toughest missions in the game.
Okay, Witch in 3. This one is Act 2? Is the time limit, I think? Oh yeah, this is scary because like you saw all those flashy skips that Speedrun did. They're gonna be a lot scarier now because if you die in this mission, you have to start all the way over. And you also just have to navigate so many crusher blocks. Wait, oh no, this is Act 1. This is Act 1.
Yeah. No
Oh, it's still scary though. It's still scary though.
Because it's long, like almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably the longest stage in the game, or one of.
The Void Break.
Again, that Void Break you mentioned there, you are supposed to use laser for that, but by tapping the direction at the right time, you can kind of maintain Void and conserve this laser for this shot here.
And the game puts the spring there.
Yeah, I think because they kind of realize it's really easy for someone to just forget to slide and then just die, and then you kind of have to redo everything up to that point. So they put a little spring there so you don't have to remember to slide while that thing's chasing you. So I think they know. They know.
Good. Go home free. Ooh.
Nice. I hope you're ready to do that again.
Let's do this. And that's all the red rings.
Yep, now just for the S rank.
Let's do this.
So, I kind of missed the red rings. Is the route different from the first time you did this, or
It's
pretty
not
much the
different,
same?
but I need to be more cautious of the timers.
Right, because you have to finish this stage with like probably at least a minute, roughly, give or take.
Let's say 101. Because I finished like 101. I mean just over 1 minute and it wasn't a mess. But I finished with a high 1 minute, like 1 minute point 60, and it was a mess. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't get the Void Break, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world, because there is the laser coming up soon anyways. But it is still a little slower. So that one right there, he has to kind of fetch.
I'm gonna play safe with these timers.
I didn't realize how many timers there were there. Jeez. Like, I mean, I ran like all missions before where I don't really have to worry about the timers, because as long as you're fast enough, you're fine. So I never really had to worry about finishing with at least a minute for an S rank. So I like never had to memorize these time capsule locations or know them. Makes things a little bit interesting. Scary though. Okay. Here's the jump again. The laser.
Good. I think I'm good.
Nice.
Yes.
GG on that mission. Alright, I think that's pretty much every stage and mission in the game now, so pretty much just end game left, I think.
Yep, main time to guess, we better hurry.
Final area has appeared. So, terminal velocity is kind of weird. It's sort of its own minigame, kind of, where you're kind of playing Sonic from a top-down view, running from top to bottom. And this is really difficult because if you want to beat this quickly, you have to go so fast and kind of both maintain boost to make sure you're boosting as much as possible, and also hit all these boost pads, because the more boost pads you hit as you boost, the more speed you gain. So you pretty much have to play this in perfectly in order to just maintain this really high speed that you want to keep going at. But you also have to like make sure that you have boost meter, so you have to kind of weave in and out, make sure he doesn't hit anything except boost capsules, continuously hits these boost pads. And you're going so fast, you have to just memorize this ahead of time.
Missed one. Almost perfect.
You also want to carry a little bit of boost into the actual boss, because otherwise you need to farm a little bit of boost from a boss's attack in order to get, I think, the Burst Wisp. So here we go, final boss. So yeah, right there you have to kind of boost into him after he's stunned to unlock the Burst Wisp, which he's not going to use, but you kind of see from the bottom of the screen, you kind of need to unlock each Wisp, and after you've unlocked all 5 of them, you can deal the final blow to the boss. So that's the rocket. Now here's the drill attack. Really easy to dodge, you can just spin dash in place. Like that. Here's the laser attack. Okay, that's the drill. Here's the actual laser attack.
Now I do nothing but jump. And then boost.
And now here's the last attack, the last Wisp, Void.
Cool, now onto the button mashing part.
Yeah, so in order for this last attack, you have to button mash. But conveniently enough, all 4 face buttons work, so you kind of just delete this boss immediately. So that's really nice.
Let's do this.
Yep, so the game tells you to mash Y, but you can just mash all 4 face buttons and it works. And that's the last main boss, I should say. So the game is done, but this is 100%. And so Speedbreaker has to sit through some credits and then get ready to fight the last actual boss, the Supersonic boss.
Right, cool, so that's the game for now.
We get to chill with some credits that you can't speed up, I think.
No.
But that's okay. This game's awesome.
Yep.
Deserve a little bit of a break from the credits. Because how did you get into running this game in the first place? Like, I started seeing you like do IL runs for Rush and Rush Adventure, and then you started doing some runs for this game too right afterwards. And it seems like that you've been running this game the most actively out of the 3 nowadays.
Oh yeah, this one, yeah. I've pretty much been trying to improve colors. It's basically one of my speed projects. I've got Sonic Colors DS before I got the first Rush game. I had Rush Adventure first, but then wanted to move on to something different. I've got yet to improve my NE percent in all levels, since I haven't done that for over a year.
And that's the fun part about this game. There's just a lot you can do with it. And same with all 3 games, really. All 3 Rush games.
Certainly.
Yeah, we kind of, I mean, I personally call this a Rush trilogy because Colors is basically Rush 3. It has literally the same physics, just kind of a different moveset and wisps, but you can kind of see why Speedbreaker runs all 3 of them, because they are basically the same kind of game.
Yeah, it has
all pretty fun games.
Yeah, there's just a slight difference between each of them, whereas this one uses wisps and boost, but the mechanics are the same, like boost conservation are the same.
Speed cap, slope jumps, etc, etc. Boost glitch, unfortunately, is a thing on all 3 games, but you know, you take what you can.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You'll have
Game's a lot, though.
And just so you guys know, this is actually record pace by almost 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to bring that up because I'm like watching through your Discord and like you have the splits showing, which is why I like kind of know what you're doing next, which has been a nice guide for commentating, honestly. And yeah, right now he's about 226 ahead after finishing the last boss, so that's exciting. Maybe sub 140, depending on how. Well, Dad, sub 140 should definitely be possible for this. Here's hoping the last true boss cooperates, because the next boss is certainly a thing. Yeah, so most of the bosses in this game have kind of a pattern of there's like a quick kill that takes like less than 30 seconds for almost every boss in this game, as long as you have the corresponding wisp. And there's like none of them have any luck whatsoever, with the exception of Starlight Carnival's boss, which even in that case the luck is relatively minimal. Unfortunately, not quite the case for Nega Mother Wisp. There is a lot of luck involved, and this fight's pretty long and has really janky hitboxes, so here's hoping that she cooperates. It's a supersonic fight, so for all intents and purposes, it is a complete gimmick of a very gimmicky fight, where you're pretty much playing a different game. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I feel like this credits just looks so similar to the credits from Rush Adventure, because I've seen the credits from Rush Adventure a lot, and it's like aesthetically practically the same, if I remember correctly.
Wait, the credits?
The credits, like, the style of it, I guess. I suppose. But it's been a while.
Yeah. So yeah, I have managed to figure out a way to get the weak spot faster, and I've practiced that a lot in all levels for Nega Mother Wisp. Oh yeah, and just so you guys know that, that the only way you can unlock Nega Mother Wisp is to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds and defeat the Nega Wisp armor, which was the final boss of this. There's no way to unlock it earlier, even in Kirby's All Emeralds run of this. So yep, shouldn't be this long. Shouldn't be that long before we go for that. Right, so
yeah, at some point, I've always kind of wanted to do like a trilogy marathon, both for any percent and also just getting all the emeralds, because it seems kind of fun to do that. I don't know, silly marathons like that are kind of fun to do, but other stuff just kind of took over.
Oh yeah, got a question about that. You see, for the any percent for the rush, is it all stages or just like starting from fresh file?
Good question. Good question. I don't know yet.
Guess we'll watch the bit when we come to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, in the case of all emeralds, it would have to be from just a fresh file, because it's basically just the best ending kind of category for all 3 games. But,
Who wants to start a carnival pick? Not that long left now. So when the clock hits an hour 35, and that's when the next part will come. They've got 5 minutes, basically 5 minutes to reach the sub 140. It should be able to be done.
Yeah, you have about 1 minute left. I like how you have the split for credits.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, you might as well have one there and take a bathroom break or something when you're doing a serious run that's not commentated. It's a good time for that. Although, be glad it's not Sonic Colors Ultimate, because I think that credits is like 19 minutes long or something absurd like that. It's really long. Like, Colors Wii is pretty long already, and Colors Ultimate's credits is even longer, from what I've heard. So, yeah.
Yeah, according to chat, is over 10 minutes.
But yeah, Colors DS and Colors Wii, both awesome games. Highly recommend playing both.
Yeah, that is too many credits, Smash Bummy.
Too many credits, indeed. Only they'll let you skip them, but I guess they didn't really expect anyone to actually play the main game repeatedly. They just expect players to play time attack mode or something, which I guess is fair.
Right, cool. Oh, wait, I was
All
supposed to
right,
end the
that's the
time.
credits.
Cool.
All right, time for the Nega Mother Wisp. So this boss has a lot of different phases to it. Basically, you have to wait for her to give you a certain attack pattern, which is random, and then smack the meteors back at her. And as you do that, as you smack enough meteors at her, you get a chance to actually deal damage. So these attacks are all random. We're waiting for a specific attack pattern. Have to hit the arms with the meteors by charging an attack like that. There we go. And here's the actual attack opportunity. And this is one of those times where I kind of wish this game was on a 3DS or something, because the depth perception for this is very janky. It's really hard to see when something's coming up. And if you hit any of the red sparks, you get knocked back. I don't remember if you have to redo this entire sequence or not, but
No.
it's bad either way. Getting grabbed by a purple one's not as bad because you just slow down, but it's still annoying. And as you get close enough, you have to follow the prompt of boosting into the eye at the right time. If you fail that, you have to redo all of this again.
Yeah, if you fly perfectly in the center, you can hit one instantly. You hit the eye.
Seems like pretty good luck, though. Oh, never mind.
No.
I spoke too soon. That was close. Oh, cooperates?
Got it.
Okay, that's not too bad. You just have to hope, like, when you hit a meteor that the tentacle doesn't do anything. Or time a meteor so that it hits right after an attack, which is what Speedbreaker did in the last case. Alright. I will say, the music is quite a jam, though. This game's music is awesome in general.
Wait, that suit down. Oh yeah, Akira's in my actual stream. Oh yeah, this is also this is a marathon Akira. So yeah, I'm streaming straight onto that. Okay, this is good.
Yeah, this looks very good. Nice, that was very good.
Yes.
Oh. Alright, just have to land this last hit, and I think you're good.
Yeah. The time will come when the jingle from the last score screen disappears. The jingle.
You got this. You got this.
That's two. Yes.
Nice. Alright, just almost time.
When the final jingle stops, that's time on the score screen. And that's time.
GG, 138.35. New record. 3 minute time save. Jeez. Previous time was, you beat your previous time by 3 minutes.
Yeah, this was
Wow.
This was mainly because, like, for the other one, I had to restart, like, Asteroid Coaster Mission 3 because not enough time for the S rank, and also other major errors as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you saved 57 seconds on this boss alone, which really shows how much could go wrong with this fight. But that was a very good fight. Very lucky, but also very good. Like, that was very good. GG.
Oh yeah, certainly. And also the last time I did this, I got like a 247, and plus with pauses. Then I found a way to like not use pauses anymore, and that saved a significant amount of time. So thank you guys for watching this stream. I hope you
Thanks
guys.
for having me. This was fun and exciting to see.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well. Thank you for giving me the chance to showcase this category, which is very long, but certainly interesting.
Mm-hmm. Like, you hear, like, oh, revisits for these missions, and usually that just kind of makes you cringe a bit, but then with how the red rings are routed out, there's almost always some kind of difference with all these revisits, which makes it interesting. So this is kind of cool to see. Pretty cool to see, I should say.
Yeah. So yeah, this is how much can happen when you when you explore certain areas with, especially with this. It was quite a bit to route all red rings and then yeah, and then extend it. So yeah, thank you, BigJon, for once again for having me on this stream and to certainly celebrate all other black speedrunners out there. And hope you enjoy the next speedrun as well. And I think we're pretty much done here.
Yep. Congrats on a new record.
Yeah, thanks. I'll probably challenge this again at some point later on, but this will certainly do. First one,
yeah, this run seemed pretty solid overall.
Yeah.
So.